Hi, I'm Kennedy Corley, and for my immersion project, I decided to attend a Catholic Mass. I felt like this was something that was going to be very beneficial for me. A lot of my friends are Catholic and practice Catholicism and attend Mass every Sunday night, but I attend a non denominational church service on Sunday, so I have not been very exposed to what their beliefs and practices are. And I felt like this was a great opportunity to learn more about my friends and what they believe and what they love and have practiced their entire life and compare it to what I believe and see the differences and learn and just be more willing to understand and grow and watch them practice something that they love and believe. Um, since being a non-denomination attending a non-denominational church, I got to witness the severe differences, but also the similarities that both Catholicism and non-denominational Christians believe and practice at their church service. Before I went to the Catholic Mass, I felt very nervous. I was very intimidated. I felt like I was going to stand out and not have a clue at what was going on. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know what the Mass would look like. I didn't know what the priest would say. I didn't know if they used the Bible. I didn't know if they sang. I knew nothing. But then after, I realized that they still sing songs just like I do at my church. It's very traditional, it's very formal, and it's very passionate. I noticed that the members of the Catholic Church were very passionate about their mass service and learning and studying the history of Catholicism and just using the traditionality to guide them to their current beliefs, and just like the tradition that stands behind Catholicism is what pushes these individuals to be so passionate and continuously attend Catholic service. My perception of diversity and difference afterwards is I think that religious diversity is beautiful. I think that it is just another way to worship God and to love our Father. And I think that it just really warmed my heart to see that even though it's not the way that I worship and I go to church, it's still another way that individuals are loving God and having that relationship with Him and still making disciples out of Him and showing the love of Christ to other people in just a different way. And I thought that was very touching and warm and beautiful. I think it is a huge privilege to be able to choose the different ways to worship. I think that I have a bigger appreciation of the freedom of religion that we are allowed, and that this is a perfect example that I worship differently, but it's still something beautiful and someone still has an option to do, and it's still so passionate to people. I think that no matter what way we choose to worship God, I think it still makes Him smile, and the differences just make it even more special and beautiful, and our relationship with Him just consistently grows. I feel like my views on diversity and difference were really touched by this experience. From this course, concepts from this course that I recognized while attending this Mass service was the religious privilege and oppression that Catholics are perceived with. I think that cultural imperialism is a privilege because Catholics still celebrate Christian holidays. So their school calendar, work calendar, all those big holidays that Christians are get to celebrate like by society, Catholics still see the effects of that. And Catholic schools are everywhere, and so Catholicism is really practiced in school, and the history is studied all the time. And I think that is a huge privilege that this type of religion is constantly still learned about in school, and people have the option to attend Catholic school. And I think that is a very big privilege. And I think, however, Catholics have a bad view, a bad judgment before going. I feel like people think that Catholics are very conservative. They're very different with their beliefs with Christianity, which is true, but it's nothing like too severe that I learned. And a lot of Catholics are from immigrants, which they still face oppression to this day. From our book, it said that 41% of Catholics are ethnic minorities, so there's tons of oppression with individuals that are Catholics because of their race and gender, and that is very sad to me. Define engaging with diversity and difference in practice. I think to engage with diversity and difference means to truly look deep into each person and seek out those differences that are worth celebrating. I think that despite what religion you choose and how you choose to worship God, I think that it's still worth celebrating and it can strengthen our relationship for the kingdom. And this was just the one example that I saw after attending a different church service. I think it would be a very sad, sad world to live in if we were all the same. I think that difference makes us beautifully unique and special, and we are designed to be different. God did not hand knit us to all be the same, and it would be very boring. It would be very upsetting if we were all the same. Nothing would make us special or unique. So I think it's important to embrace these differences that make us diverse and celebrate them instead of bashing one another for what makes us different by like race, gender, sexuality, religion, class, any of that. I think it should be something we're celebrating for sure. Two challenges that I reflected on from this are I think oftentimes we forget to take time to open up our eyes and see the diversity that is around us. Like, even in my friend group, the diversity of having a couple of friends that practice Catholicism every week, and then the friends that go to a non-denominational church and practice in a different way, that alone makes us different and unique. And I think it's important to open up our eyes to the little things, not the major thing, but like the little things that make us diverse. I think those are great and special. I think also we need to take time to embrace the opportunities and experience different things than what we are used to. That is constantly around us, just like going to one Catholic Mass on a Sunday night. I think, especially in Nashville, there are so many opportunities to experience different things, and it is important to do that so we can experience the beautiful and amazing opportunities that diversity and differences offer us. I think one of the biggest strategies reflecting on this, I think every week I should do something different. I think if it's attending a different church service each Sunday or whatever night it falls on, or going into the community and experiencing a different culture than what I've experienced, or having a meaningful conversation with someone that looks different than me or works in a different atmosphere than me or is just different than me, I think it can teach me as an individual something far greater than I can ever imagine. I think it is just important to surround yourself with different people, places, and practices, because that's how we grow and that's how we see life for what it is and how beautiful it actually is. And it's just not that hard. If I just do something different once a week, easy. I can definitely experience something that I'll never regret. One positive emotion that I felt was like exciting. Like, my adrenaline was rushing thinking about learning something new and beautiful and experiencing diversity, and how easy this opportunity was and how much it did teach me and how much reflecting on it and how powerful my reflection was afterwards. Like, it was so easy, an hour and a half out of my day. I was excited. I was excited to learn something that my friends love and are so passionate about and just experience it for an hour and a half. Like, it just completely changed my outlook on all of this. However, I felt very timid and I was very fearful at completely engaging myself in something that I had no idea what was to come or how to act or where to sit or what to do during the service, or like how to take communion or how to kneel and do all the Catholic symbols and stuff. I was very, very scared to be the odd man out, but it doesn't matter. At the end of it, like, it didn't matter. No one was watching me. No one knew. I was just following along, and that was totally normal. And I think a strategy to not be so timid is just to pray for bravery, and being brave can help me conquer so many new things. And you must be brave to experience something new. It can be scary, although it is exciting, and my adrenaline does rush. It is very frightening, and it can be embarrassing, but if I just pray for bravery, I know that God will give me the ability to experience these new things that are so powerful. Some specific steps that I have been reflecting and deep thinking about to advance human rights, social, economic, and environmental justice. I started by saying diversity and differences are a beautiful thing, and it saddens me that the society that we're in now has placed such a bashing manner onto difference. People are afraid of others who are different. People are afraid to be different. Differences should not be pushing us together like they are. They should bring us closer. Like I previously stated, that it would be so sad and so boring if we were the same. We would not feel special. We would not have anything to offer. And I just think that differences should be bringing us closer together rather than pushing us apart. And to do that, it starts with advocacy. I think it is crucial to use our voice to embrace, connect, and cherish the differences between humans that we share. Although there are a lot of similarities between us, there are a lot of differences, and I think to advocate those differences, that's where it should begin, and let people know that it's okay to be different and that we should celebrate each other's differences, because there are so many things that make us different. Step 2 is dive into diversity. I think that the only way to value that diversity that we hold is to dive into it. Go somewhere where people are not like you. Go somewhere where people do not worship like you, where people don't look like you, where they don't work like you, where they don't have the same privilege or the same sufferings as you. I think it's so important to see people of different religion, gender, race, class, sexuality. This can help beat those discriminations and stereotypes that are placed on individuals that are different, and help us just realize that we all come from the same place. We are all loved, we are all chosen, and it is important to embrace the differences and to dive into diversity. Step 3, I think it must end with celebrating these diverse differences. The only way for our world to move forward positively with difference is to embrace and celebrate the differences. No single person is alike. Instead of using our physical and verbal harassment to tear others apart for being different, to stand out and be different, we should use celebrations, which can bring us closer together. I think justice must be met and starts with celebrating and immersing ourselves within different cultures, people, places, practices that are surrounding us daily. I think it is very important to realize that it is not a bad thing to be different and to look different and to love differently and to not be the stereotypical what society has planned out for us to be. And I think we must break these stereotypes and discriminations towards oppressions of race, class, gender, all of that, and to embrace the diverse differences. And I think this small experience on a Sunday night church service really opened up my eyes to value that and to seek the people that aren't like me, or the people that are in my circle of life that have chosen to be different than what I am, and it is okay, and we still love one another and worship the same God. We just do it differently. And I think this experience really was powerful for me to realize that and to reflect on that. And I'm so happy I got to do that.